You rewatching it and helping you to do your work later on. Okay, so Kweku, I didn't receive
Yeah.
the scoring, but I guess you did it, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you after.
Okay.
I use the CAPS quality assessment too.
Okay, so I think when I look at you and network, I saw some few things I wanted to comment on so that you get it. I don't want us to,
Okay.
we will not go back to this again because I'll do it. Yeah, we can move on because already we have spent some time on this. Okay, so with respect to here, what I wanted you to do in this column, I wanted you to identify the quality assessment tool before
Okay.
you come out with the quality assessment score. The score and the tool, they are not the same. The tool is what you use to do the assessment, and there are different types of tools.
Yeah.
Okay, then how do you identify a quality assessment tool? Very simple. To identify a quality assessment tool, look at the research design. The research design informs the quality assessment tool that you choose. So for example, if you say a paper is a review paper, the question is what type of review paper? And I mean, definitely here to be a systematic review. So when you come here, you are coming. I'm just trying to help you out, and I think it's one of the things that I was waiting for the two of you to ask me, but none of you asked me. But that's fine. At this point, I think we can move on, and so that we can look at the data analysis so that we don't waste time. So systematic review. If you check quality assessment, you come here. This is another quality assessment company. I'll use the word company because or institution, because the quality assessment, we have different types of quality assessment, and normally they are linked to the organizations that come out with the quality assessment. So with respect to JBI, for example, JBI is an institution, Joanna Briggs Institute. They have a way of assessing articles. So if the article is a systematic review, they have developed a tool for that. If the article is, let's say, a quantitative method, or the study use a quantitative method, they have a tool for that. And if the study is a qualitative study, they have it too. If the study is an experimental study, they have it too. If the study is any other research design, they have it too. So we have JBI tools. And then when you come to another institute like National Academies of Science, Health and Medicine Division, they also have listed the tools. So normally this is what you see. You see that the quality assessment tool of JBI is a little bit different from the quality assessment of other institutions. Yes, they are maybe, for example, let's take qualitative study. So if you pick a qualitative study, an article was written with a qualitative study. If you pick that qualitative study, there are different assessment tools that can be used to assess this qualitative study. You can get a tool from JBI. You can get a tool from this National Academies of Sciences. You can get a tool from Newcastle, Ottawa scale. You can get a tool from this. So the question is, what's the difference? The difference in their tools has to do with the number of questionnaires that the number of questions that they ask, because all the tools, they come in the form of questionnaires or they come in the form of statements. It's like you trying to put something out there, asking Ghanaians or asking people, how do you feel about COVID-19? And then on the scale of 1 to 10, what do you think? Some will say, oh, COVID-19 was okay. Some will say it was not okay. Some will say this, that. I mean, the questionnaires that normally we receive, and I guess all of us, we have answered some form of questionnaires before. So the differences in these assessment tools from these institutions, they are in the number of questionnaires. I mean, the number of questions in their questionnaires. So with JBI, even though you are assessing a qualitative study with a JBI, you see that their number of questions will be like 10 or 5 or 8 or 11 or 12. If you go to National Academies of Science, Health, Medicine, and Division, they also have a tool for quality assessment. Or if you take something like CASP, for example, we have a CASP tool also has a tool for quality assessment, qualitative study. And you see that with the CASP, their number of questions will be different. It will be like maybe 10 or 7 or 8. So you let me, I mean, I don't want to talk too much. Let me just show you an example. I think that would be better. So let's take something like CASP. I want to use CASP, which is a different tool from a different institution. Okay, so with CASP, if you want to assess a qualitative study, the number of questions that they ask is, I think, 10 or so. So this is CASP for qualitative study. So you can read it from here. So with CASP, it's 10 questions. So from this institution of CASP, and this is from a certain institution called CASP in UK. I'll read more about them. So for them, they have 10 questions. According to them, if you want to assess a qualitative study, you need to ask 10 questions. So that's for them, or that's from them. Then when you come to JBI, JBI also has a qualitative. JBI is also another institution. I know JBI to be in, I think they are in Australia here, what I know. So, sorry, JBI also has a, JBI has they also have a tool for assessing a qualitative study. And for them, they have, let's see the number of questions that they ask. Okay, so JBI is also 10. JBI is also 10, but from what I've seen from other studies, some of them, you see that there will be a difference. Here we are somehow lucky, put it that way, that they are all 10. So I guess you are getting the difference. So JBI has 10 questions. CAS also has 10 questions. You see another institution too with another quality assessment tool for qualitative study, and their questions may be different. It could be 11, could be 9, could be 12. That's the reason why when you are writing your methodology and you pick a quality assessment tool, you need to state the specific institution where you are, picking your quality assessment tool from. And also even go ahead and even explain the number of questions that they ask. So that's how you have to go about it. Yeah, it was a little bit of, Kweku was saying he used GBI, but I don't know whether, Kweku, you are aware of other
No, I
CASP.
I use CAPS rather.
Okay. So I don't know whether you were aware of the differences between the CASP, JBI, the ones from Oxford, the ones from Amsterdam, the ones from other institutions. I don't know whether you are aware.
No.
Yeah, so that is how they work. So going forward, if you want to use it,
Okay.
and any of them that you want to use, you need to state the ones that you are going to use. And that they are a lot, honestly, they are a lot. There are a lot. You get something like mixed study. Different institutions come up with their questions, and many, like many of them, different institutions. Oxford has some, Cambridge, Harvard, even in Australia, you get even Queensland University, they also have their quality assessment tools. If you go to University of Adelaide here in Australia, they also have them. So different institutions, they have their own quality assessment tools. But one thing about the quality assessment tools is from what I've seen, they all have a way of helping you to test the originality, the quality, the originality and the quality of the paper that you are going to use for your study. So they are all helping you to test whether the paper that you are going to use to support your work, whether that paper is good or not. Yeah, because some of them will ask you questions like, for example, if you take this one example, you say that the research method and the research questions which were used in the paper that you are assessing, did they really put out there a good research method? If you read the paper, can you see the research objective clearly stated? Because there are some of these papers, sorry to say, predatory papers as we call them. You read the papers and you don't see the head and tail of the paper. It's hard for you to even identify the research objective, what they are trying to achieve. Yeah, so all these things are helpful. And then another also issue which many people have also raised with this kind of quality assessment too, sometimes it also tend to be a little bit, I would say it's opinionated. Opinionated in a sense that you will say that, for example, he answer, I will say yes. Maybe Kweku will say no. Let's take maybe the first question. Is there a congruity between the status philosophical perspective and the research method? I would take yes, and Kweku may take no, and Annette will say unclear. So the question comes to then who is right and who is wrong. So normally at this point we have something that we call a conflict resolver. So in most circumstances, if not the way we have delayed things a bit, we were supposed to bring our work, come to a meeting like that. And that's what I wanted us to do, to bring our meeting. And then I'll look at Annette's work, Liu's work, Kweku's work, my work. And then we look at, okay, this is how I answered my quality assessment on this paper. What do you think? Maybe Kweku will look at it and say, no, Isaac, the way you answered it, I disagree. Okay, if you disagree, why do you disagree? Then you come up with your reasons, and then we debate on it, and then we finally resolve it. Okay, but there is a tool which can even help you to do this called Covidence, which I'm currently using. You can see it on my screen. For those of you who have something like, I don't know, Leo and Annette and Kweku that you have access to, it's called Covidence. Covidence has a way of helping you to do this. Currently, I'm using it to do some work for some professors. So with Covidence, you can put in some. I'm just going to show you an example. It's a very good systematic review tool which can help you to resolve your conflicts and also help you to resolve issues around this quality assessment tools. So with Covidence, all that I have to do is I have to do some settings, invite some of you, invite 1 or 2 people. So whilst I'm doing the work, let's assume even 2, just 2. One person will do the work, the other person will come in, and the person will say, okay, what you have done is okay. And if you still have that time, you can invite the third person who will act as a resolver. This person will say yes, this person will say no. Then this resolver will just look at the two of you, what you have said. Okay, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, I think Annette, you said yes. Okay, Annette, you are right. Isaac, you said no, you are wrong. So we are going for what Annette said. Then we move on. So this software has a way of helping you to do that. Yeah, so it's something. It's not. I mean, I can't help you out today because of time, but it's something I'll recommend to some of you. If well, the only issue with this thing is that if your school is not having access to it, you need to pay for it. And currently it's going for $289 per year and $635 per year. It's a very good. I mean, it has been in the system not too long ago. It's something that I can see a lot of people are using. Some schools have also have subscribed to this. So if you are lucky enough for your school to subscribe to that, then you can get this for free. If not, then you need to pay for it. It makes systematic review very fast. Like all that you have to do is just download the articles from the academic databases, upload them here, and then the work will begin. So it has a way of helping you out. It's so nice. Then once you are done even with the work, it has a way of helping you to even draw the prisma. So with this, you don't even need to draw any prisma table or prisma diagram. Yeah, as Annette, remember I requested you to do this. So you just upload and then it will just help you out. So I'm going to download one for you to just see, just for illustration purposes. This is not what we are doing, but just for illustration. So when you open it, yeah, it will just draw the prisma for you based on the inputs. So you can see it has done that for me. There's no need for me to do any other thing. You can edit it if you want to. Maybe some of the things in there if you want to, and edit it for you. But this is, it has given us the updated 2020 Prisma flowchart. This is the Prisma flowchart 2021. Yeah, so it has so many advantages. So those of you who want to use this, I mean, I think I would recommend it. It's so good, and I'm kind of now I'm a master in it in terms of using it. So in case it's making a lot of papers I'm writing for other people very fast. All that I need to do is just download it in here, and then I'm just going fast. But unlike those days where I used to do some of the things manually, because when you are doing some of the things manually, it will take you some time. So you can do this, but this one, the software will assist you to do it very fast. Okay, so that is on the quality assessment. So as a constant, that's what we are supposed to do. So once you are done with the assessment, then you come to where you bring the scores. Okay, so first you are supposed to choose a quality assessment 2, and then from the 2, you bring the scores. So once again, I'll take you to what you were doing. So let's assume that out of these 10 questions, you end up saying that 8 of them are yes. Then that means the score will be 8 out of 10. So that's where you got a score, and I hope that's what you did. So 8 out of 10, yes. No is out. Where it is unclear, you need to resolve it. And once again, this is where the conflict resolver will come in. Even sometimes when it's even no, still the conflict resolver need to look at why it is no. But when it is unclear, then we need to find a way out. That's why it's unclear. Yeah, because sometimes it's possible maybe when you were reading, you skipped some things. That's why maybe you think it's unclear. Another person will read the same thing and then find out that it's clearly stated there. Something is clearly stated somewhere or something. Yeah, so we're supposed to do all these things together, but at this point, I'm sorry, we can't because of time. Because if we are going to spend another time, we have to spend another about 2 to 3 weeks resolving these issues and going back and forth. Yeah, that's the reason why I've kept on asking, are you doing this? Are you on it? Yeah, so that you get the understanding, and it's for your own good. Because personally, I know how to do it, so I don't have any. I know how to do all these things, but I was just trying to help. But that's fine. We can move on. Now, the next point or the next work is for us to do the data analysis. Yeah, so you have all done well and done your best. Let's do the analysis. So here we are going to look at a summary of the papers. So when we pick the papers, for example, I just want to when you pick the papers or when you pick a paper, what you have to do is that you need to, I'm going to send you some teams, okay? Because if we are going by the normal way is to do, use NVivo. The NVivo will extract important keywords and statements for us. And based on the important keywords and statements that the NVivo will extract, then we'll put them together. We'll code them, put them together according to the patterns in order to form teams. And from the teams, we do the analysis. But I think if we are going that way, it's going to take us a very long time. Very long time. So what I want us to do is, I have read most of the papers and I have identified some teams which I think they are important for this paper. And they also have a way of helping us to address the research objectives. So I will send the teams to you. So when you are writing, all that you have to do is just look for information in the articles so each and every one, the articles that you were allocated at the quality assessment level, you are dealing with the same papers. I'm not going to change them. Same papers that you dealt with. So if we were given 5 papers or 10 papers or 3 papers or whatever papers, stick to those papers. Okay, so I'll send the teams. And then when I give, so for example, if a team like technological infrastructure is one of the teams, when you are reading the papers, get information on technological infrastructure and write about it. What I'll also do is I'll do my best by tomorrow. I will send you a video. Like I'll pick 1 or 2 papers based on the teams, and I'll show you how to do it as if I'm doing the write-up. So I'll show you. So that when you are reading, okay, so this is what I have to pick, this is what so because the thing is, the papers, they have so many information, they all have so many things in there. So if we don't draw the line, we'll be going back and forth, and it will take us a long time for us to finish. So I have the teams based on the papers I've read, and also not only the papers, I've also done some reading outside the box. And I've also picked some important things which I think they are important if we put them into our article to make our article good. So I'm going to do that for you. Then so this at this point, once again, you have to do. Here you have to do what we call the full text reading. So in this way, that's why I mentioned that with this, you have to take some time. So here, like we are going to give ourselves about 2 to 3 weeks. So we are not coming back now. I want to give everybody the time to do that. If you are able to finish earlier, that'll be fantastic. But if you are not, do your best to finish within the time. So today happens to be on we are on the 21st, or we are in the 21st of August. That means if I'm going by the time, we can decide to do up to 4th September. Okay, let's agree on this. Is it okay? 2 weeks time? Oh, because this is full text reading. Here you are not only taking aspects of the article, just like how you did this for the quality assessment and then the table that you sent. But the table that you sent, one, you were looking at something like, when was it published? What is the article's title? Who and who wrote the article? So you were picking bits and pieces of the information. You didn't do full text reading. Full text reading means you're going to read the article from the abstract to the conclusion. And in some cases, if there are some appendixes and data which are important, you need to read them. So this is where you're going to really understand what was written in each of the papers. So we all need some time. It cannot be done within a week. Not possible. The minimum.
Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that 2 weeks will not be enough for me because I have an exam in September. I think I already told you.
Okay.
So my exam is at the end of September, and then I'm using the September to do a lot of preparatory work. Okay. So I plead with you if I can, because I'm doing 15 papers. If you're still going by the number of articles we are using, and that's quite a bit. So I'm not sure. Can I get it back to you in October, maybe second week in October?
October will be far away. So what I can do is I can decide to take part of your work, 10 papers, okay, and you do 5.
Okay. Then we do the 2 weeks deadline then.
Yes, because okay, I'm also looking at the timeline so that we also don't spend too much time on this. Kweku, what do you think?
I think it's okay.
Okay. Leo,
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Please, yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. So, Leo, Leo, how
2 to 3 weeks, or we should?
No, 2 weeks.
Get like
on the 4th.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Kweku, when are you completing your exams? I mean, when are you finishing conducting your exams?
This week.
Okay, this week, lecturer Kweku. Okay.
I've got an assignment to submit, but I'm okay, honestly. I think I told you about it on the 8th of September, but I should be okay.
On the 4th?
No, 8th of September.
No, I'm talking about, can you finish by 4th? Because you have something to submit by 8th.
Yeah, I should be okay.
Okay. So Annette, I'll is it waiver? Is that correct word? Waiver 10 of you. Yeah, I'm taking 10 of your papers, and then any other person who wants me to take part of your papers, or you are all fine. Okay, so if everyone is okay, then we can move on and get it done. Okay, so the next question then is, so once the analysis is done, what next? Because we need to plan into what's the next thing so that we will know. Okay, so this paper, we are going to submit it to two papers. Sorry, 2 journals. Cleaner production, you can read about it. So those of you who want to read, just read about the Journal of Cleaner Production. It's one of the journals I wanted. They have a very high impact factor. The size score give them 18.5, and then the impact factor is 11.1. When you submit a paper, it takes 3 to 4 weeks for you to get a decision. Publication is very fast. and somebody will say yours truly happens to be one of their people. I happen to be part of them. I work with them. Yeah, so it's one of the journals that we can look at. It's a very good journal. And once we get our paper published there, it's going to boost all of you, your credentials. Then Journal of Building Engineering, which also happens to be an Elsevier journal. They also have a very high impact factor. Yeah, it's also ranked highly in our area. Journal of Building Engineering. Journal of Building Engineering. Why? Okay. Well, I thought their impact factor is higher than it. Anyway, some of the journals, their impact factors were reduced, kind of. Yeah, so Journal of Building Engineering 2 is also a very good journal, which I think we can also put our paper there, so you can read about it. So that is the next thing to do, because we have done almost all the work. I would say we have done all the work. So once we are able to submit, if you are able to give your work to me by the 4th of September, all that I have to do is just put them together. And then once I put them together, I'll write the introduction. Or by then, any of you, if you are less busy, you can work with me. You can write the introduction. Then I'll work on the conclusion, and then we submit. Yeah, if not, I'll do the 2. So these are the 2 journals that we are looking at once we are done with the work. In case any of you go about reading anything anywhere, and you also see that there's a journal that you think is good, that we can submit our paper based on the topic, you can let us know by putting it on the page. And please, we want a very high impact factor journal. Yeah, very high impact factor journal. Yes. And this, we are not paying anything. This is free. For these journals, all that you have to do is just write your paper well, do a good job, and submit. And it's possible your paper will be accepted. Yeah, so yeah, I trust that this our paper will do well, because I am looking at the topic is a very good topic, extremely good topic, relevant. Not only good, it's also relevant to whatever is going on currently around us. So that's it. Anything that anybody wants to say? That's the end of the meeting from my end. Is there any suggestion, anything that anybody wants to bring on board, or anything that anybody wants to say, so that we all look at it and then move on? I'll start from Annette. Hello, Annette.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
I have nothing at the moment, so you can go ahead. Maybe after a while, I'll think of something.
Okay. Kweku. Lecturer Kweku.
For now, I'm okay. If I have anything, I'll just get in touch.
Okay.
Right.
St. Leo.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, any question that you have, or
No,
anything that you
I
want to
think
add?
the only thing that I want to say is you've really done well so far for bringing us this far, and then helping us to understand 1 or 2 things. God bless you for your time.
Thank you.
Some of them too, I think maybe I would have to personally call you, because it's really like abstract to some of us. You've been doing it over and over time, but I think
Oh
today's
yeah,
has been very clear, and then because we were
yeah.
not interjecting, so I think it's cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. So I think that it's something that we are all okay with for now. And in case you start doing the full test reading and analysis and you come across any question, I'll be happy you get in touch. Yeah, so that I can support you. Do your best to get in touch so that I support. To make your work easier and to make you go faster. Yes, and the another thing too is even though some of your papers are just 4, 5, 2, 3, it's the earlier you start, the better. Yeah, so that you can finish it on time. Yeah, so that's what I'll say. I'll start doing the preparation towards the journal. I'll start because I need to look at some 2 things. I need to I need to decide. Are we going for cleaner production or we are going for general building and engineering? So I need to look at one or two things and decide. So I will let you know as to where we are going. Actually, I wanted us to even put some diagrams and all that into the paper. Okay, one last thing. I also want somebody who will do final review and editing. I mean editing rather, not even review. As for the proofreading, I'll do it myself. But I need somebody who will do editing for us. I want only editing because I trust that each and everyone here will write it originally. So there will be no need for us to do plagiarism test. I personally don't encourage doing plagiarism test after you have done your work. So when I'm writing, I do my best to write it originally. So because personally, I see it to be like you are doing a double job. If you write your entire work, you have to go back to plagiarism test. You get a plagiarism test of, let's say, 60, 70, 80%. Then you have to come and sit down again, rewrite the work. So when I'm writing, I do my best to just write it originally based on my understanding of whatever I've read. Yeah. So there'll be no need for plagiarism tests. But the English construction, we will need somebody who will help us. So in case you know anybody anywhere, you can let me know. And once we
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Leo.
Please, the editor, is it someone who does editing in terms of
English.
papers or what? I don't understand English. English,
No,
eh?
yeah, is it like you have written something and somebody want to the person will do grammatical editing. Let me put it that way. Grammatical is more
okay.
to put that thing in a good shape in terms of English and all that.
Okay. I don't know if our school we have people who kind of check our assignments for us if you want.
But they charge,
So
right? It's not free.
no, they don't. No, they don't
Okay.
charge. It's like it's part of academic needs analysis. So if you want that need, you just email them, you book an appointment with them, and then you tell them about it. So maybe when we are done now, I can contact the woman. I've had a chat with her before in a meeting, so I'll ask her if she's available to do it for me.
Okay. My school too, we also have the same thing, but now I have completed, so I don't have that access to that services anymore. So
okay.
So I can.
So if okay.
And in the past, what I used to do is I'll do my own thing. I'll sit down and read the statements one by one, but it says that where we are coming from. When I say where we are coming from, I mean generally, our English. It's not like we are not good or we are not good, but it's always good for someone to look at some of these things for you, especially when it comes to submitting a journal article. Yeah, when your paper is well written, people don't really comment much on it. They will rather comment on the content, the substance, instead of just the English construction. Okay, so when we are done, we'll give it to you so that I think you can do that from your school. Like you can present it as your own work. And then
Yes.
yes, and then yes, I think you can do that for us.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so if there's no other thing, I wish everyone the best. I'll share the video online, and when you see it, you can download it. Once you have downloaded it, kindly let me know. I'll make it private, and then we move on from there. Yeah, so have a nice day and take care. If there's no other thing that anybody wants to say.
All
Tio,
right,
you want to
thank
say
you.
something?
No, please.
I mean, I'm sorry, I know you
Thank you very much.
Kweku. Oh, okay. Annette, okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day,
Yeah,
everyone.
you too, bye to everyone. Take care, bye.
Bye.